Inquiry is expected to commence with the cross-examination of Captain Monwabisi Ntlati this morning. Now, it is probing the suspended Police Commissioner Riah Phiyega's fitness to hold office. Captain Ntlati took the stand yesterday. He was on duty on the 16th of August 2012 when 34 miners were shot dead. Ntlati said that he had clearly heard Lieutenant Colonel Scott say that orders had come from the police national management. But Colonel Scott told the Police Commissioner of Inquiry that he was not aware of these orders. The defence wants to cross-examine Captain Ntlati and the Tshwane spokesperson Lindela Mashego. The defence asked to stand down so it could review the police captain's evidence. Now, for the latest, our reporter Patricia Visagie has been following the story from day one. She now joins us for today for the update. Patricia, very good morning to you. Can you take us back to yesterday? What transpired then?
Good morning, Elvis. Of course, yesterday we saw the Claassen Board of Inquiry wrapping up on a high note with that discrepancy and, of course, contradiction that came to light in the testimony of Captain Ntlati, where he repeatedly highlighted to us that he can remember very correctly at that meeting that was held on the 16th of August in 2012, where he remembers that Colonel Scott was also present at the meeting that he told the Board of Inquiry yesterday, where a lot of the commanders were summoned at the time by Brigadier Adrian Karlitz, and he says that they were sitting in a vehicle at the time, and he remembers correctly where Colonel Scott repeatedly told them that the order to disarm and, of course, disperse the striking miners at the time came from the top brass of the police. But, of course, yesterday we were also reminded that at the time when Colonel Scott testified during the Police Commission, he denied this. He denied knowing anything about a meeting where this order was discussed and a meeting where the decision was taken to disarm and disperse these striking miners. So, of course, today we expect the defense to cross-examine Captain Ntlati on this discrepancy, the contradiction, and try and find out whose version between Colonel Scott and Captain Ntlati's is correct, who is credible, who is giving credible information in terms of these two leaders, because it is contradicting and it does raise serious questions as to where did the order come from, who gave the instruction for the police to attack the miners at that crucial time, that violent strike that we did observe in 2012. And of course, later on, we will be expecting the second witness to take the stand, and that is the former police communications officer, and that is Lindela Mashego, who is currently the Tshwane Council, of course, spokesperson. So he will be taking the stand, and he's going to talk more about some of the statements that the communication team at the time compiled, and of course, allegations that some of these statements were amended and there were changes that were brought to the fore. And so he's going to give more clarity. What were the changes that were brought and who gave the instructions to make those changes? And all of this are in line with trying to, of course, prove that the suspended police commissioner is not fit to hold office, or whether she is. Elvis?
What do you think is his testimony today? Well, it seems like we've lost Patricia there.
Can you just repeat that? We have lost signal.
Let's just try and see if you can hear me now. How important is Captain Monwabisi Ntlati's taking the stand today, his testimony?
Well, it is very important. As I said, it has yesterday left us with, a lot of questions, as there was a clear contradiction, because he says he remembers correctly that Colonel Scott said that top management, the national management, gave the instruction for the order that they should disarm and disperse the striking miners. But of course, he had denied this already at the Police Commission. So it is important to determine who gave that order. You would remember that part of the reason why we are here is that the suspended police commissioner is being accused of concealing some important information, crucial evidence during the Farlam Commission, and of course misleading the commission and not telling all truth. So it is important for us all to get clarity as to who gave that order and why are these two police officers giving two conflicting versions of event as to what happened and who gave the order. And that will bring us all closer to the point to determine as to why the police took the decision on that day of the 16th of August 2012 to shoot the miners in the extent which they did.
What time is the commission supposed to start today, Patricia?
Well, it's supposed to start at 10 o'clock, but for the past 2 days we have had severe delays, and we expect the same thing to happen today, where we're probably going to start much later than the anticipated time. So we're probably going to start at around 11. That's how it's been since the inquiry has started. So yes, we are delayed again today, so we expect to start at 11 o'clock.
Is there any reason given for the delay yesterday even, or the day before?
Well, the reasons that we did get yesterday as to what led to the delays was that the legal teams that were here were in a private discussion with, of course, Judge Claassen, where they were discussing in terms of what should happen to some of the witnesses, who's going to get called and who will not be called. Yesterday, we saw about 4 witnesses who were supposed to be called to come and testify, who then they decided that those witnesses will no longer be called as they both the evidence leaders and the defense had reached an agreement that they agree with the testimonies, the written testimonies by those witnesses. So it's common cause. So there was no need to, re-examine their testimonies again in terms of them testifying again. So that was one of the delays. There were also, I think, disagreements in terms of whether Captain Ntlati should testify or not, and whether today's second witness, that being Lindela Mashego, whether he should take the stand or not. So it seemed like they could not get on same footing yesterday in terms of the logistics around the witnesses. But of course that was sorted out. So we're not sure exactly what's the delay today, but hopefully they will tell us soon as to what is delaying them.
Patricia, thank you so much for that update. That was our report on the scene, Patricia Visagie. Now.